Think about the big opportunity for you guys against a top 10 team that keeps winning.
Well, they're very good. Obviously at this point, have separated themselves. Obviously, them, Cincinnati and Central Florida and Temple have separated themselves as a top 4 team. But nationally, I think Houston's as good as probably just about anybody. They're a Final Four caliber team. They have this experience. They have the size, they have the depth. Their perimeter players off the bench over the last 4 or 5 games have played extremely well. They're getting good production from every spot. So you have to play very, very well to beat them. You got to be great defensively. You got to be great on the glass. You got to do a really good job offensively. When you get open shots, which is hard to do, you got to make them. And they're a reason they're at where they're at right now, because they're as good defensively and rebounding as any team around.
You've been talking throughout the year about mental toughness and how your team is mentally tough, especially on the road. How much does that help when you get into an environment like this?
Well, we've had, pretty good success on the road. I've played pretty well, lost some tough ones. Probably only one game didn't play very well in. So our guys understand that, when you go on the road, you got to be a little tighter as a group. You got to be a little more disciplined in terms of your execution. You got to be a little tougher-minded, because you're going into, a hostile environment. They haven't lost a home game going back since they lost in the first round of the NIT 2 years ago. So they're very, very good at home, and it's going to be a great environment, great college basketball environment.
You've talked about how, you've got a bunch of competitive kids, and that's really been a key for you this year. But is there anyone who's really kind of overachieved on your roster? You said, wow, I just didn't expect this at this point.
No, because I wouldn't have recruited them if I didn't think they were good players.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think every single player is, and this is to their credit, getting better maybe a little faster than we thought. But we're not going to recruit bad players, So and even some of the guys who haven't played as much, I think have a chance to have great careers here and move on and be able to make a living playing basketball, So again, you can go down the list of every player on the team and talk about things that they've dramatically improved in or much better in or maybe a surprise to other people. But, for us, the biggest thing is those guys have been coachable and those guys have worked hard, and that always accelerates the process of personal development.
On that subject, Coach, Mark and Ron got great ovations from the crowd when they scored the other night.
Yep.
On the scout team, they're very valuable to helping your team prepare. Can you talk a little bit about their contribution?
Their contribution is immeasurable and a lot of times to the public unnoticeable. But just think about this. So our guys have to learn 30 set plays. Those guys have to learn 25 set plays every 2 days. It's unbelievable what they do. They got to spend extra time. They come in, watch film. They get in early to practice, make sure, and the better they know it and the better they can run it and the better they can execute it, the better prepared we are. So they're invaluable to us. We always talk about walk-ons in terms of, the sacrifice that they're going to make. And the good thing is those guys work hard too. They're much better players now than at the beginning of the year, which is good to see. And they're going to, take the experience that they learn and being a part of our program here and carry it on to whatever their next endeavor in life is. But, those guys have done a tremendous, tremendous job for us. And, we thank them all the time. But they're treated just like everybody else now. They screw up, they're going to get their butt chewed, And I think sometimes they kind of like that because I think they feel a little more part of the whole deal when I get on them a little bit.
David and Quincy are fine, right?
Yeah, they'll be fine on Saturday. Yeah. Just, this week of some rest for them and constant rehab has been good for both of them. You're at this point of the season and you're practicing and preparing, but the practices are much different than they were 2 months ago or 3 months ago. The competitiveness is still there, but the time frame is different. bone on bone is a little different in terms of the practice. But we are who we are. You know what I mean? And the reason we're at where we're at is because we go hard every single day. And those two guys, there's no second gear with those guys. They're in fifth the whole time. And fifth is the highest gear you can be in, whatever that is, you know. They got to do a really good job of taking care of their bodies down the stretch, as does everybody. But they'll be good to go on Saturday. All good?
Thank you very much.
I think it's a big opportunity for us. Big opportunity to shock the world, show everybody, you know, what we can do. We lost a tough game here, but I think we'll respond Saturday.
Were there some things that you guys can take away from that game that you guys did really well, or to build your confidence going into this one?
Just keep defending the three, and just defend. I think we defended pretty well the first game, but if we can take it up a notch, I think we can win.
Speaking of defense, you've been playing great defense and really making those effort plays out there. How do you think you've grown this year?
I think I've grown tremendously. So, you know, obviously I'm a freshman, so like every game I'm getting better. I feel like I'm understanding the game more at this level. So I just feel like I'm getting better game by game.
In the first matchup against Houston, you were defending Breon Brady.
Mm-hmm.
What did you learn from that game that is going to help you in this matchup on the road?
Just don't let him, you know, get easy post position. Just work hard before he gets the ball and just make it tough for him. I think I'll be all right. We'll be all right.
You always been tall, or do you have a growth spurt?
I mean, I've always been tall, but every year I've always grown a couple inches. So, yeah.
Like when you were 12, how tall were you? Were you one of the taller kids?
Yeah, I was always one of the taller kids.
Okay.
I'd say when I was 12, well, no, I don't remember. I don't remember.
You ever had a shoe blow out in a game?
Nah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was.
That was crazy.
Seems like when you guys go on the road, you're not really phased. Your coach always says that you guys have good mental toughness. I mean, what do you think of the way you guys are able to lock in on the road? And you guys don't have a lot of seniors. It's younger guys that are doing it.
Well, honestly, as a group, I think we like playing on the road. We like, you know, being against all odds, playing in front of other people's crowds. You know, we thrive off that. I think we like that.
How much fun was it for you the other night to see Mark score and to see Ron get his first points for the season?
It was very fun. You know, they don't play that much, so to see them score, I loved it. The whole team was hyped. See them score. Every one of them scored. They was defending. They was doing everything, so it was fun.